Men, I want to have a straightforward and honest talk with you today, one about something most of us never bring up at the dinner table and often not even with our doctors. Do you still pleasure yourself after 50, 60 or 70? And if you do, have you ever paused and wondered, is this still good for me at this age? I'm Dr. Megan Foster, and in my practice I meet many good men who quietly carry that very question. They've navigated a maze of old myths, half-truths, and internet rumours, trying to make sense of it all in the dark. Some are afraid it's harming their hormones, others worry it's bad for their prostate. A few even fear it's somehow weakening them for real intimacy with a partner. Today we're going to turn the lights on. I'm going to share what the science actually says about masturbation in your later years. Not only the 10 proven benefits that can profoundly support your health, but also the 10 real risks that can trip you up if you're not careful. By the time we're done, you'll have a clear, evidence-based understanding of how to make this private habit work for your body, your mind, and your long-term vitality. As we move through our 50s, 60s, and beyond, our bodies inevitably change in ways we can't always see. These shifts naturally affect our sexual health. Testosterone levels, the cornerstone of masculine vitality, tend to decline gradually. Blood vessels can lose some of their youthful flexibility. The prostate gland may enlarge, affecting urination. Consequently, erections might not be as firm or as long-lasting as they used to be. It's within this context that the question about masturbation takes on a new weight. In your 20s or 30s, it was often just about pleasure and release. But later in life, men begin to wonder if this habit is helping them stay functional or slowly doing harm. The truth is, this conversation is clouded by decades of cultural baggage and misinformation. Some of us grew up hearing it would make you go blind or sap your strength. Others were told it's a sign of weakness or an unhealthy substitute for a real relationship. And because so few men speak openly about it, these doubts can grow quietly in the background, creating a sense of isolation. Here's what I want you to know from the start. Masturbation itself isn't automatically good or bad. It's a tool, and like any tool, its effect depends entirely on how you use it. The science clearly shows it can play a powerful and protective role in your health. But there are also real risks if it's done without awareness, balance, or in a way that disconnects you from others. That's why we're going to break it all down. First, let's explore the 10 surprising ways this private act can strengthen your body, mind, and sexual health, even decades after your prime. The 10 benefits of masturbation after 61. Keeps your penis strong and responsive. Think of your penis as more than just an organ. It's a complex system of spongy chambers, the corpora cavernosa, and smooth muscles. When you get an erection, blood surges into these chambers, stretching and filling them much like inflating a balloon. This process of inflation is vital exercise. Without regular erections, these delicate tissues can gradually lose their flexibility and become more rigid over time, a condition known as penile fibrosis. This is when erections can feel weaker, less full, or fade faster. Masturbation provides a consistent, natural workout for this system. It helps maintain the elasticity of the erectile tissues, improves their ability to trap blood effectively, and keeps the entire mechanism in good working order. It's the use it or lose it principle in action. Like taking your classic car for a regular drive instead of letting it sit in the garage to rust. 2. Supports prostate health. Your prostate is a walnut-sized gland responsible for producing a significant portion of your semen. When it isn't regularly emptied, old fluid, cellular debris, and potentially harmful substances can build up within its ducts. A growing body of research, including landmark studies from Harvard University, suggests that frequent ejaculation may help to effectively flush the gland. This regular cleansing is thought to lower the risk of prostate cancer by removing potential carcinogens and reducing inflammation. Think of it as taking out the trash from your house before it starts to cause problems. A regular clearing of the prostate keeps its internal environment healthier and may help prevent the cellular damage that can lead to long-term issues. 3. Strengthens the pelvic floor. Beneath your pelvis lies a hammock-like sling of muscles known as the pelvic floor. These muscles are crucial as they support your bladder, bowels, and sexual organs. During orgasm, these muscles, especially the pubococcygeus (PC) muscle, contract rhythmically and involuntarily. That in itself is a form of exercise. Over time, these contractions lead to stronger pelvic floor muscles, which translates into very real benefits: better erection firmness, improved control over ejaculation, and a significant reduction in urinary leakage when you cough, sneeze, or laugh. It's powerful strength training you can do without ever stepping foot in a gym. 4. Lowers stress and protects your heart. When life's pressures build up, your body pumps out cortisol, the primary stress hormone. While useful in short bursts, chronically high cortisol levels can be destructive. They can raise blood pressure, disrupt sleep patterns, increase belly fat, and accelerate the aging process. The good news is that orgasm acts as a natural reset button. It triggers an immediate and significant drop in cortisol, almost like a pressure valve releasing steam. This calming effect on your nervous system not only feels good, but also helps protect your cardiovascular health and gives your mind a much-needed chance to reset. 5. Boosts your mood naturally. After climax, your brain is flooded with a powerful cocktail of feel-good neurochemicals. Dopamine, the pleasure and motivation molecule, provides a sense of reward. Oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, fosters feelings of connection and calm. And endorphins, your body's natural opiates, induce a state of deep relaxation. Even when you're alone, this neurochemical rush can leave you feeling more optimistic, motivated, and emotionally balanced, helping to fend off feelings of anxiety or low mood that can sometimes accompany aging. 6. Improves self-awareness of your body. Regular self-pleasure makes you intimately familiar with your own anatomy, which is a critical component of proactive health monitoring. When you are in tune with your body, you are the first to notice changes. You might feel a new lump on a testicle, see a change in skin colour or texture on the penis, or sense an area of decreased sensitivity. This kind of early detection can be crucial for spotting issues like testicular cancer, Peyronie's disease, or circulation changes long before they become serious medical problems. It empowers you to be your own first line of defence. 7. Improves sleep quality. Post-orgasm, the brain chemistry is perfectly primed for sleep. The combination of released oxytocin and another hormone, prolactin, alongside the sharp reduction in cortisol, creates a state of profound physical and mental relaxation. For many men, especially those who struggle with a racing mind at night, this can make it significantly easier to fall asleep faster and, more importantly, stay asleep without tossing and turning. This leads to more restorative sleep, which is essential for hormone regulation, memory consolidation, and physical repair. 8. Enhances blood flow in the pelvic area. Beyond the penis itself, the arousal and orgasm from masturbation increase circulation throughout the entire pelvic region. This surge of oxygen-rich blood nourishes not just the erectile tissues, but also the bladder, prostate, and all the surrounding muscles and nerves. Just as exercise benefits your limbs, this targeted blood flow keeps all the tissues in your pelvic bowl well oxygenated, healthier, and can even help reduce the stiffness or discomfort associated with conditions like pelvic floor dysfunction. 9. Trains. Ejaculatory control. If you've ever felt that climax happens sooner than you'd like during partnered sex, solo practice can serve as a safe and effective training ground. It provides a private space to experiment with techniques like the stop-start method or the squeeze technique. By practicing on your own, you can learn to recognize your body's signals and the point of no return, giving you greater control and confidence to last longer when it matters most to you and your partner. 10. Keeps desire alive. Your brain is, without a doubt, your largest and most important sex organ. Sexual desire and arousal are governed by complex neural circuits. Regular sexual activity, even when it's solo, helps keep these pathways active and responsive. It's a form of neural exercise that can help preserve your libido, your responsiveness to stimuli, and your overall sexual confidence well into your later decades. It reminds your brain and body that you are still a sexual being. One of the most powerful things about these Vitalidad is that they don't exist in isolation. They build on each other like gears in a finely tuned engine. When you improve pelvic blood flow, you're not just helping your erections, you're also nourishing the prostate, feeding the pelvic floor muscles, and supporting better bladder health. Strengthening those muscles doesn't only improve climax control, it also reduces leakage, which in turn boosts your confidence in daily life. Stress reduction works in a similar chain reaction. Lower cortisol protects your heart, helps you sleep better, and reduces systemic inflammation. When you sleep better, your testosterone levels stay healthier, which further supports sexual function. Think of mindful masturbation in your mature years as a multi-tool for wellness. Used correctly, it can strengthen your physical structure, sharpen your sexual reflexes, and improve your emotional resilience, all at once. But as with any tool, there's a right way and a wrong way to use it. Which is why we now need to talk about the other side of the coin, the risks you should watch for and how to avoid them. The 10 risks of masturbation after 61, social isolation. Masturbation becomes a problem when it begins to replace human intimacy instead of complementing it. If solo activity starts to feel easier, safer, or more reliable than navigating the complexities of a relationship, it can slowly erode your desire to seek out connection. The fix is awareness. Ensure your private time supports, not substitutes, your social and romantic life. Use it to stay in tune with your body so you can bring a more confident self to your relationships. 2. Skin irritation and micro tears. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and more delicate. Too much friction, especially without adequate lubrication, can cause chafing, redness, and even small tears in the skin of the penis. These micro-injuries can be painful and open the door to bacterial infections. The solution is simple. Always use a gentle touch and a quality water-based or silicone-based lubricant to protect your skin. 3. Desensitization to partnered touch. If you always use the exact same grip, pressure, and rhythm, often referred to as a death grip, you can inadvertently train your brain and body to respond only to that specific intense sensation. This can make the more subtle and varied touch of a partner feel less satisfying or insufficient for arousal. Break this pattern by consciously varying your speed, grip, position, and focus to keep your body's sensory pathways adaptable and responsive. 4. Hiding. Underlying erectile problems. If you find you can achieve a strong erection alone, but consistently struggle with a partner, it might be tempting to ignore the issue and retreat to solo activity. However, this discrepancy can be an early warning sign of performance anxiety or more importantly, underlying medical conditions like heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, or low testosterone. Your erectile function is a barometer of your overall cardiovascular health. If you notice this difference, talk to your doctor rather than masking the symptom. 5. Nerve compression from poor posture. Habitually masturbating in a position that puts strain on your body, such as sitting hunched over on a hard surface or the edge of a chair, can compress the pudendal nerve. This is the main nerve that carries sensation from your genitals to your brain. Over time, this compression can lead to numbness, tingling, or a persistent aching feeling in the perineum. Practice in a position that supports your back and pelvis, like lying down with a pillow under your knees. 6. Using it as your only emotional coping tool. If masturbation becomes your primary go-to method for dealing with stress, boredom, anxiety, or frustration, it can morph into an unhealthy crutch. Over time, this can crowd out more constructive coping mechanisms like exercise, talking with a friend, meditation, or engaging in a hobby. Keep it as one tool in a broad emotional toolkit, not the only one. 7. Guilt and shame. Many men, particularly from older generations, were raised with cultural or religious messages that painted self-pleasure as sinful, shameful, or wrong. Even decades later, these deep-seated beliefs can linger, creating unnecessary guilt and anxiety. This emotional weight can lead to stress, secrecy, and a fractured relationship with your own sexuality. If this resonates with you, working with a modern sex-positive therapist can help you reframe those old beliefs into something healthier and more empowering. 8. Pelvic congestion. While occasional ejaculation is beneficial for prostate health, excessive frequency, such as multiple times a day over long periods, can sometimes lead to a heavy, aching feeling in the testicles or pelvic region, known as pelvic congestion. This is a clear signal from your body to slow down, moderate your frequency, and allow time for recovery. 9. Temporary reduction in sperm quality. For the small percentage of men over 60 who may still be trying to conceive with a partner, it's worth noting that daily ejaculation can lower sperm concentration in the short term. For the best odds of conception, most research suggests waiting 2 to 5 days between ejaculations to allow sperm count to fully replenish. 10. Unrealistic expectations from pornography. If your solo sexual activity is exclusively paired with highly edited, extreme, or performative pornography, it can distort your expectations of what real-life intimacy looks and feels like. This can make authentic sexual encounters feel less exciting or even disappointing. Balance is key. Make time for your own imagination, cherished memories, or other forms of sensual material that align more closely with reality to keep your connection to intimacy authentic. Immediate action plan. If you take away only one thing from this conversation, let it be this: your body responds best to mindful balance. Here is a simple, practical way you can start today. First, aim for a frequency that feels good without leaving you sore, fatigued, or uninterested in partner intimacy. For many men over 60, this might mean 2 to 3 times a week, but the most important thing is to listen to your body's signals rather than adhering to a strict number. Second, pay attention to technique and comfort. Always use a quality lubricant to protect your skin. Make a conscious effort to vary your rhythm, pressure, and technique to keep your sensory nerves fresh and responsive. Choose positions that are comfortable and support your lower back and pelvic region. Third, make it part of a broader sexual wellness routine. Don't let it exist in a vacuum. Combine self-pleasure with other healthy habits like pelvic floor exercises, Kegels, regular physical activity to boost circulation, and open, honest communication with your partner about desire and intimacy. These elements work together synergistically to maintain sexual function, emotional health, and overall vitality. Finally, treat this as a regular check-in with your body. If you notice significant changes in sensation, erection strength, ejaculatory volume, or pelvic comfort, don't ignore them. That's valuable health information, and it's your cue to have a conversation with your doctor. The key is simple. Make this private habit work for you, not against you. A lesson in mindful vitality. So, here's the bottom line. Masturbation after 60 isn't about right or wrong, it's about how you approach it. When practiced with moderation, variety, and awareness, it can be a powerful ally for your health, your confidence, and your connection to your own body. It's a tool that, used well, keeps blood flowing, muscles strong, stress lower, and desire alive. But if it's done mindlessly, excessively, or as a replacement for real human connection, it can quietly chip away at your well-being, leading to isolation, physical strain, or unrealistic expectations. The choice and the power is entirely yours. You have the wisdom of experience. Now combine that with the knowledge you've gained today to make choices that serve you well. Your health is worth protecting, and it's never too late to make changes that keep you feeling strong, vibrant, and connected for all the years to come. If this conversation opened your eyes to something new, please let me know in the comments below. Which benefit or risk surprised you the most? Your feedback is incredibly valuable and helps me create future content that truly matters to men like you. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more straightforward health advice. And share this with a friend who could use some clarity on this often misunderstood topic. Thank you for joining me for this important conversation.